Get comfortable. This is your English listening practice, a space to relax, breathe, and improve your English naturally without pressure. My name is Joe, and today I want to talk to you about something very real, something many of us experience but rarely talk about openly. The fear of joining conversations and how to learn to talk to anyone with confidence. Let me start with a personal story. I remember being at a large gathering once. It was one of those events where people were standing around in small groups, talking, laughing, sharing ideas. At one point, I found myself standing near a group of people who were discussing a topic I knew very well. In fact, it was something I was deeply interested in. I had opinions, I had experiences, I had thoughts I genuinely wanted to share. And yet, I said nothing. I stood there quietly listening while my mind raced. Should I jump in now? What if I interrupt? What if what I say sounds silly? What if they look at me strangely? The longer I waited, the harder it became. Eventually, the moment passed. The conversation moved on, and I walked away feeling disappointed in myself. Not because I didn't know what to say, but because I didn't give myself permission to speak. Later that day, I kept thinking about it. I realized something important. The problem wasn't my English and it wasn't my knowledge. The problem was confidence. If this sounds familiar to you, let me say this clearly. You are not alone. Almost everyone experiences this at some point. You have ideas, you have thoughts, you want to connect, but something inside you holds you back. That's what today is about. Today, I want to help you feel more comfortable talking to anyone, whether it's a stranger, a colleague, a classmate, or a group of people. We're going to talk about mindset, body language, starting conversations, keeping them going, avoiding common mistakes, and ending conversations politely and confidently. Take your time. There's no rush here. Why is talking to people so hard sometimes? For most people, the difficulty doesn't come from language alone. It comes from overthinking. Your mind starts creating stories. Stories about judgment, embarrassment, rejection. What will they think of me? What if I make a mistake? What if I sound strange? And when your mind is full of these thoughts, your body reacts. Your voice feels tight. Your heart beats faster. Your words disappear. What's important to understand is this: confidence is not something you are born with, it's a skill. And like any skill, it can be learned, practiced, and improved. Confidence begins before you say a single word. Preparing your mind and body. Let's start with something simple: your posture. Stand or sit up straight. Relax your shoulders. Lift your head slightly. These small physical changes send powerful signals to your brain. Your body tells your mind, I'm safe, I'm capable. Now add a gentle, natural smile. Not a forced one, just a friendly expression. A smile makes you feel more relaxed and it makes other people feel comfortable around you. When you speak, aim for a calm, clear voice. Not too loud, not too quiet, just steady and warm. These are not tricks, they are signals, and your brain listens to them. But the real work happens inside your mind. Changing negative thoughts. Let's talk about that inner voice, the one that says, what if I say something wrong? What if I make a mistake? What if they judge me? Instead of fighting these thoughts, replace them. When your mind says, what if I make a mistake? You say, that's okay. Mistakes are how I learn. When your mind says, "What if I interrupt?" you say, "I can join politely." Conversations are flexible. When your mind says, "What if they laugh at me?" you say, "At least I tried." Trying is better than staying silent. Most conversations are not serious performances. People are not grading you. They are thinking about themselves far more than they are thinking about you. Once you truly understand that, something shifts. Starting a conversation. For many people, the hardest part is not speaking, it's starting. So let's make this simple. One of the easiest ways to start a conversation is by making an observation about your surroundings, something you both share. You might say, "This place is really busy today. The food here is great, isn't it? It's such a nice day outside." These are safe openings. They don't demand perfection. They simply open a door. Another powerful method is asking open ended questions. Questions that invite more than a yes or no. Starting a conversation. For many people, the hardest part is not speaking, it's starting. So let's make this simple. One of the easiest ways to start a conversation is by making an observation about your surroundings, something you both share. You might say, "This place is really busy today. The food here is great, isn't it? It's such a nice day outside." These are safe openings. They don't demand perfection. They simply open a door. Another powerful method is asking open ended questions. Questions that invite more than a yes or no. What brings you here today? How do you know the host? What do you enjoy most about that? If you notice something specific, a book, a shirt, an accent, use it. "I like that book. What do you think of it?" "That's an interesting jacket. Where did you get it?" Specific questions feel natural. They show interest. You can also start conversations through help. "Do you need a hand?" "Excuse me, do you know where the restroom is?" "Could you help me with this?" Small moments of connection often grow into real conversations. And don't underestimate the power of a sincere compliment. "I like the way you explained that earlier." "That was a great point." "I really like your bag." Make it honest. Make it specific, keeping the conversation going. Once the conversation starts, the next step is keeping it flowing. The secret here is listening. When someone speaks, listen fully, not just to respond, but to understand. Then ask follow up questions. If they say, "I just came back from a trip," you ask, "Where did you go?" Or "What was your favorite part?" If they say, "Work has been really busy," you ask, "What's been taking most of your time?" This shows real interest. You can also share something related briefly. If they talk about cooking, you might say, "I tried cooking pasta last week. It didn't go exactly as planned, but it was fun." This balance, listening, asking, sharing, creates a natural rhythm. Use small responses to show engagement. "Oh, really? That's interesting. I see what you mean. That makes sense." These simple phrases make people feel heard. Common mistakes to avoid. Now let's talk about what not to do. First, over explaining and over apologizing. You don't need to apologize for speaking. You don't need to explain every detail unless asked. Say what you need to say clearly and stop. Second, talking too much without listening. A conversation is like a game of catch. You throw, you catch, you pause. If you only throw, the connection breaks. Third, avoiding eye contact. You don't need to stare. Just look at the person naturally when they speak and when you respond. Eye contact builds trust and confidence. Ending a conversation gracefully. Ending a conversation doesn't have to be awkward. You can say, Kos, I should get going now. It was really nice talking to you. I enjoyed our conversation. You can combine them. It was great talking to you, but I need to head out. Take care. If you'll see them again, let's talk again later. I'll catch up with you soon. A polite ending leaves a positive impression. The most important skill, being present. Everything we've talked about becomes easier when you do one thing well. Be present. Stop planning your next sentence while the other person is speaking. Stop worrying about how you sound, just listen. When people feel heard, conversations become easier. Confidence grows naturally. Confidence is not about being perfect. It's about being engaged. Practice is the key. Finally, remember this. Confidence grows with practice. Practice speaking. Practice listening. Practice starting small conversations. Reflect afterward. What went well? What can you improve next time? Every conversation is practice. Every interaction helps. Thank you for spending this time with me. If you're listening to this as part of your English learning journey, keep going. You're doing better than you think. My name is Joe, and this has been Everyday English Lab. Keep practicing, keep improving, and most importantly, keep speaking. Take care.